looking at people who are not literate to be part of research. So that means we have thought that.
Yeah, I just want to add, I think it's an excellent question. Couple of points. One is that there is research being done outside of the metros as well, but the reason I said it's a good question is because of one concept I want to share with you. Like we have cities like Mumbai, Delhi, where there is a lot of affluence. Our research has shown that there are many, many cities all over the country, and in fact, in most of the large cities across the country, the top layer, the upper echelons of society, are actually very similar in terms of consumer behavior. So, even if you go to a small town like Kannur, which is my favorite example, if I gave it to one of the journalists who interviewed me in the morning, if you look at the top end of people in Kannur, their lifestyle will be very similar to the lifestyle of the top end of people in Mumbai. So again, going back to your point, the potential for all marketers is huge all across the country. All right? And with us leveraging technology, whether it's the tablets, whether it's some of the other equipment you're seeing in the room, we will collapse the entire country. Our people could be anywhere and they could interview respondents and get the data across very quickly. And that is really our cutting edge over people. And that's our contribution to the marketing world. Because now people don't have to worry, is it going to take long for the survey? Is it going to take 2 months? It will not take that long. Yes, it used to take long, but the cycle time, as we call it, the time it takes from start to finish, is seriously going to be collapsed without any compromise of quality. Thank you.
What kind of significant change can we see in the business model?
Great question. Okay, the one change which Raj and I have discussed is that we want to make sure that we work with a few clients and we service them well. We're not likely to be able to handle 500 clients. I don't want to handle 500 clients. Okay, whoever I handle, I want a deep relationship, a long-term relationship. In fact, I would call it a partnership. And I want to make sure that I do a lot of seriously good work to help them grow their brands and help them understand their customers wherever they are in the world, in the country. So that is definitely one major change as compared to many of the large agencies who may have a different model. The other one is what you see on the table here. We want to leverage technology as far as possible, whether it's in the area of looking at leveraging online, the online business can be great, whether it's in the area of leveraging or using social networking sites and all the other products linked to it. You will be seeing much more of that. And for us, it comes easy. We've spent a lot of time, money and effort doing this. This doesn't come overnight. We spent the last decade perfecting this task. And as we talk, there are quantitative tests being done, qualitative tests being done all across the country, but for clients outside of India. Now, from March onwards, we will be having Indian clients benefiting from not only our expertise, but also all the technology available.
Also, I think the research agencies are looked down upon by a lot of clients, companies, and to build upon what the first point that Sarang meant, a more deep relationship. We are not looking at MRSS India being just a run-of-the-mill research company. It's more like a consulting company. So it's like if Accenture or McKinsey were doing market research, how they would do it. So that's why when we say few clients, deep relationship, means we really want to consult them. We don't want to just go to the markets, do some data collection and give them some insights, a few PPTs. We want to partner with them and make sure that their return on the amount of money they're spending on research actually changes or achieves the objectives they want. Right?
What percent of accuracy your research will have over normal market research that is done through, you can say, manual basis?
See, it's not really so much the accuracy. It's understanding a different dimension. For instance, if you look at the eye tracker, okay, this one here. Sorry. If you look at this one here, now there is no research tool available currently in India which can tell me whether I'm looking at the brand, I'm looking at the logo, I'm looking at the writing, or I'm looking at the person who's endorsing the brand. So it's not a question of accuracy, it's a question of never having the chance to understand that, as against now having the chance to understand everything. And then when you aggregate it over a number of people, then you can make a whole lot of conclusions that when you have this type of advertising, this is the kind of impact it might have. Okay, so the kind of understanding you get of the consumer and how she behaves is really what we're talking about. Okay, so it's a question of no other agency being able to offer this unless they have this equipment and the software. All right, and of course, once you have the equipment and the software, you are 100% accurate in terms of what you're trying to communicate.
And also in market research, the data has to be, the most important thing is that data has to be valid and reliable. These tools give you valid and reliable data because if I'm doing telephonic interviews, all the calls are recorded. So given the scenario where a student is filling the forms in a canteen, is not possible in this at all. There is 0% chance because you get audio files of all the interviews. So the client can actually go through them. In the CAPI situation, you actually know which house the person has gone because it's Wi-Fi, internet enabled, how much time he has spent and who has given the interview. So it definitely there are clear advantages where it makes the data more valid and reliable than any other conventional method.
So, but can you say this technology is only with your company? Right?
Yes.
Your only company?
Yes.
And also linked to that is the fact that if tomorrow I'm Samsung, let's give an example, okay? And Samsung is a Korean company, so they may want to do a survey in India, in Thailand and Korea. We do have the same facilities available in all three countries. So that's really, really important.
The language software.
Everything. And because what can happen is, I can always work with an affiliate. We don't do that. We have our own offices everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
I think this is a very good point Sarang has made because you see a lot of Indian companies also who have got very ambitious plans to go expand in Asia. So Bajaj, Maxis, Fortis, all of them have made acquisitions in Indonesia, in Vietnam and China. Now here the advantage is these same clients can come to MRSS India and tell them, you know what, you're helping us in India, but we also want work done in Indonesia and Vietnam. So it's a reverse of brain drain or, instead of them working with MNCs, they'll be finally happy to work with an Indian company overseas also.
Can you just brief us on your geographical presence?
Right now, in terms of fieldwork, we can do it. We do it across India, all the states, all the union territories. In terms of the fixed full-service offices, we are in the 6 cities now. Right now, these are Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Calcutta, and Hyderabad. These are, when I say full service, that means they all have CATI stations. They all have focus group facilities. They all have these technologies in those offices. But of course, as Harshit rightly said, you don't do research only in the top 4 cities, you do it across India. So most often of the time, research is not being done in this 6 cities, it's being done in other parts of India.
Internationally.
Asia Pacific, we are in 18 countries, if that was your question. So I think that is given in the press kit. But in India, it's primarily these 6 cities, and we do fieldwork across the country. And you have to appreciate that what CATI can do is, and we can dial anywhere in India, in any language. Our interviews are multilingual, so I can do sample sizes are happening in Cochin, in Visakhapatnam, in Patna, Bihar, Lucknow, all at the same time. So you cover a large sample size in a very short period of time. Also, again, this is just a glimpse of what we already have. What is in the pipeline is a lot more. Social media is currently not being serviced by any most of the market research firms, and there are a lot of needs or gaps in the market which we are planning to fill by getting all these different analytical tools and software in place.
What financial goals have you set for yourself?
Again, I said financial goals. Harshit also asked the same question. We have worked on a business plan which is very internal at this stage, and it wouldn't be right for us to comment on that. But I think end of after we launch officially next month actual operations. I mean, today we are launching the company, the website, but I think end of March we will be able to provide financial goals for year one. Of course, we will be holding another press conference at that time to announce the team which we have started off with, and we'll be in a position to comment on year one revenues also.
What impact does social media have on the market?
Social impact, social media has huge impact on markets. I mean, now it has become a situation where the consumer can directly talk to the brand. Earlier, a brand owner would not know, Pampers would never know what the problem is in the market is. It had to appoint market research firms to just go and see if Pampers is available in all the outlets. Now, Farah Khan has to just put on Facebook, no Pampers in the market since 2 weeks, and Pampers knows that. So Pampers immediately turns the whole thing into a positive campaign by sending her free packages of Pampers. Plus, here the role of market research becomes much different. It's not just getting the information and giving, because social media is doing that. Your consumer is talking to the brand is here. The job of the market research firm becomes highly analytical. It becomes very technical. It becomes how should the companies use this data? Because if 10,000 people are tweeting about Harley Davidson every day, what does Harley Davidson need to do? How it has to take its the social media information and convert into a business opportunity, or how it can use it to service its clients better. So that is what social media is doing today. It is making the job of the traditional market research companies redundant. They don't even need them, because I know what my consumer wants. He tweets about it, she tweets about it, she puts it on Facebook. I know exactly what they're doing. That's why the new age market research firms like MRSS India is going to really overtake the traditional companies, because it is not going to do the basic dumb job of collecting data and giving it to the client. It is going to see data which is available and make intelligent recommendations to the client. So social media is going to have a huge impact.
Yeah, and I think what Raj is really talking about is the fact that research itself will change. Because what happens in market research, you go out and you go to a consumer or a customer and you ask some questions. Now when you ask a question, then the consumer or customer is that time thinking about it and responding. But if you hadn't gone there, the consumer may not have even thought about it. So I'm actually questioning the validity of the answer. Whereas when you're talking, tweeting, Facebook, etc., because I feel strongly about something, I'm actually expressing a view. That is really rich information. Yes, I agree that we're going to get it only from people who want to share, but there are ways of getting around that. So I think the power of social media is something everyone is underestimating, except of course the people who do the valuation on Facebook. But I think it's a great question, because that's one of the reasons why we're seriously looking at that space, and you will be seeing more news from us in that space.
And what you have to appreciate is that social media is quite developed internationally and even in India. I mean, Indians use social media, and just by sheer population, it's a huge number. But there are not many companies servicing the social media industry in India. But globally, internationally, there are lots of solution providers, lots of analytic company who have been tracking social media for the past 4 years, 5 years, and seeing how it can benefit businesses. And this is the advantage we have. We do not have to wait to get the South Asia Pacific headquarters to address our requirement. And they say, no, actually India is a very small market. We don't think we'll launch this there. We don't have to. We are going, because it's going to be a company for the Indian market, we are going to launch all the products which are there globally directly straight off into India. So the Indian consumer or Indian client does not have to wait for at the mercy of the Nielsen's or the TNS on when they are going to launch a product. So you all are open to have a look at, we'll just unveil this logo.
Sure.
How do you do it? Just pull it that way. So.
Yeah, I think this string there is
That's the logo of our new company, MRSS India. And it's also the website, mrssindia.com. We've launched it just a few minutes ago.
If there are no more questions, you're welcome to come and have a look at some of the stuff. We'll explain to you how it works and what happens to you. If you want to take any pictures, you're more than welcome.
The glares and you go, but that's natural, that's not simulated. But there are some ways in which you can take care of the simulated.
Because this to some extent it will matter because this
It matters, but if you show first 15 minutes of slide, then you reject that data and then you put in your what you want to test. And the respondent cannot see. Respondent will only see this image. ये आपको जो लैपटॉप पे दिखता है वो दिखा रहे हैं हम। रेस्पोंडेंट को खाली ये फेडरल का उसको मालूम नहीं कि मेरा किधर उधर जाए. He doesn't even know. And also, if I show you a highly technical ad,